There was a point where he was delusional.
For decades, Ron Howard has been seen as one of Hollywood's most stable and respected figures, a child star who seemingly avoided the scandals, chaos, and public breakdowns that consumed so many others who grew up in the spotlight. From the outside, his life appeared almost perfectly scripted. Early fame, steady success, a smooth transition from actor to acclaimed director, and a reputation built on calm professionalism. But behind that reassuring smile and carefully maintained composure lived a far more complex and emotionally charged story, one shaped by childhood pressure, creative confinement, quiet rivalry, and the heavy cost of lifelong perfectionism. Born on March 1, 1954, in Duncan, Oklahoma, Ron Howard was raised by actor Rance Howard and actress Jean Spiegel in a household where creativity was encouraged but discipline was non-negotiable. Before most children could form lasting memories, Ron was already standing under hot studio lights, delivering lines and learning that work came before play. His breakout role as Opie Taylor on The Andy Griffith Show made him America's favorite child, a symbol of innocence and wholesomeness, but behind the scenes, his childhood unfolded inside soundstages, tutoring rooms, and tightly controlled routines. While other kids rode bikes and made mistakes, Ron memorized scripts, studied between takes, and learned how applause could coexist with deep loneliness. That early fame built his career, but it also planted emotional wounds that never fully healed. When The Andy Griffith Show ended, Ron was still a teenager who had already lived an adult-sized life, carrying pressures most people wouldn't face until much later, if ever. Those pressures followed him into his next defining role as Richie Cunningham on Happy Days, another character that captured America's heart while quietly trapping Ron inside an image he had outgrown. By his early 20s, he was portraying teenage innocence while the real world outside the studio walls was changing rapidly, and the disconnect began to wear him down. Frustrated by creative limitations and a system resistant to change, Ron realized that if he wanted a voice, he would need to move behind the camera. That decision transformed his life and reshaped Hollywood history. Directing became more than a career shift. It was his escape, his way of reclaiming control after decades of being managed, directed, and defined by others. Films like Night Shift, Splash, Cocoon, Parenthood, and later Apollo 13 solidified his reputation as a filmmaker who balanced heart, authenticity, and technical precision. Yet that same drive for excellence slowly evolved into an obsession with control. Ron pushed himself relentlessly, often at the expense of his health and personal life, believing that saying yes, working harder, and perfecting every detail were the only ways to justify his place in the industry. That mindset reached a breaking point during the grueling production of Apollo 13, where exhaustion and dehydration caused him to collapse on set, forcing him to confront the reality that passion without boundaries can become self-destruction. As his career soared, his personal life quietly absorbed the cost. Long shoots kept him away from his wife Cheryl and their children for months at a time, leading to moments of painful realization when he returned home to emotional distance and missed milestones he could never recover. Those regrets stayed with him, reshaping how he measured success and forcing him to reconsider what truly mattered beyond box office numbers and awards. Alongside these internal battles existed a quieter, more complicated chapter involving Rob Reiner. Both men grew up in Hollywood, both transitioned from acting to directing, and both carried the invisible scars of early fame. Yet their public personas could not have been more different. Reiner was outspoken, politically engaged, and confrontational when necessary, while Ron remained measured, subtle, and restrained. Their mutual respect was undeniable, but beneath it lay an unspoken rivalry, a creative tension that neither man fully acknowledged. Scripts, projects, and opportunities often circled both of them, creating a silent competition rooted not in ego, but in shared ambition and a desire to be understood. When devastating news surrounding Rob Reiner shook the entertainment world, it struck Ron at a moment when he was already emotionally exposed, grappling with the serious health struggles of his younger brother Clint Howard, the one person who truly understood what it meant to grow up under constant studio lights. Clint's illness forced Ron to confront a fear he could not outwork or control, stripping away the armor he had worn for decades. The loss connected deeply with unresolved feelings about Rob, reopening memories of conversations never finished, respect never fully expressed, and rivalry never reconciled. In rare public reflections, Ron spoke not with industry polish, but with quiet honesty, acknowledging that Rob had pushed him creatively, challenged him without trying, and made him better in ways he never said out loud. That admission resonated across Hollywood because it revealed something deeply human beneath two towering legacies. Today, as Ron Howard enters a slower, more intentional chapter of his life, his reflections carry a weight shaped by love, loss, regret, and hard-earned wisdom. He has stepped back from relentless schedules, prioritized family, and accepted that legacy is not defined by perfection, but by presence. His story, intertwined with Rob Reiner's, Clint Howard's, and the countless artists shaped by early fame, stands as a powerful reminder that behind Hollywood's success stories are real lives marked by sacrifice, rivalry, vulnerability, and the universal search for meaning. In the end, Ron Howard's journey is not just about movies or fame, but about understanding that the most important stories are the ones we live when the cameras stop rolling, and the greatest achievement of all is learning, even late in life, what truly deserves our time.